So, hi everyone, and thanks for joining me on Thrive Masterclass today. If you can hear me and you see me, please just comment, write in the comment section so that I know that I'm not just talking to myself here. We're just going to go straight into the business of today, and that's why I'm really hoping that everyone can hear and see me, so that everything that I'm sharing, we're getting the meat, the real meat of it. My name is Angarika Azubike, and I'm a business growth expert, founder of Founders HQ, and the creator of Marketplace Alchemy. So I'm going to be looking at two screens here because I'm talking literally on four platforms: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. So if you can see and hear me, please just write in the comment section, "Hey Victor, I see you. Thanks for joining me." Thank you, Lamide. I see you as well. Tunde, I see you. Thank you so much for joining. Now, welcome to Thrive Masterclass. Thrive Masterclass is a series of monthly masterclasses designed for business founders and leaders who want to start, build, scale, and accelerate their businesses. Today, I'll be teaching you on the topic, harnessing the growth blueprint to sell like never before. Today, we're going to be talking about something called the buying tribes. So what is this, and what has that got to do with growing your business? We're going to hone down on that today. I'm sure you probably even have questions as I've talked about the topic. But allow me to run through the content that I have for you today. And then right after the masterclass, you can ask your questions. Of course, you can drop your questions, but I'm just hoping that I wouldn't miss it as I'm going through the entire the entire content for today. So in this masterclass today, you'll learn how to leverage the growth blueprint to discover a ready, unique market for your products, how to tailor your marketing efforts to specifically reach the audience and the right segment of the market, and how to understand the perspective of buying tribes so that you can change and tweak your selling narrative and ensure that they are taking action, because at the end of the day, that's really what you want. Now, before we go into that message of today, what I've talked to you about, the growth blueprint, what I've talked to you about buying tribes, I want to talk to you about something really important. Now, for any business to perform optimally and attract the right talents, have the right product in the market, and consistently make sales that keep them relevant in the marketplace, it needs a system. It needs a system. Now, what systems do is that systems always produce the right results when applied correctly. And what I've found out over the last 2 decades is that when you do this right, it's like you're literally like printing money every single time. Luckily, you don't have to spend that amount of time to be able to get the results that I'm talking about today. And that's why I created a system called Marketplace Alchemy. Now, I created this system as a result of the experiences that I've had working with thousands of businesses. And it is something that literally turns ideas to gold. It's something that literally turns things that you would consider as bland to something really exciting. I've applied the system with my clients, and I've seen the transformation in the results that they're producing. We literally see people move from where they are to at least 60% within just a few months. So if you're looking for how to use a blend of leadership, systems, and innovation to grow your business, to ensure that you're actually building an optimal business, then Marketplace Alchemy is what you need. Now, as we're going into the topic of the growth blueprint, which is actually an offshoot of something that we pulled out of the entire system of Marketplace Alchemy, I want to talk to you a little bit about change, because change has been like the rhetoric for the year 2020. And a lot of people have not really understood what the impact of change is to their business, and how that can take them either up or down. Now, there's no doubt that this has been a very interesting year. The events of the year has been favorable for some businesses, and then have been very unfavorable for some other businesses. Now, in case you're asking me, what businesses? It's been favorable for businesses? It has. Let me talk to you about Alibaba. They've been in the news in the last 24 hours. So there's something in China called Singles Day. And Singles Day is literally where people, it's almost just looking like a Black Friday, where single people are buying gifts for each other. Alibaba broke the record this year. How can you break a record in a pandemic where you're selling stuff? That's what happens. So, in case you're wondering, it's not possible for anyone to grow their business in a pandemic year. Then this is a typical example of the fact that you can do anything within if you put your mind to it and if you find the opportunities within the market. They actually made, listen, in one day, Alibaba made roughly 75 billion. And I didn't say million, I said $1 billion. $75 billion in one day. That is huge. That is huge. So that can just tell you that even in a pandemic, even when there is change, there is opportunity. And the onus lies in you as someone who's building a business, somebody who is growing a business, for you to say, what are the opportunities and how can we tap into that? So luckily, that's what we're discussing today. But I just also want to highlight that the thing with change is that it doesn't only happen when something like a pandemic, like what we've experienced this year, happened. And, pandemic is just one thing. There's so many other things, particularly if you're in Nigeria, many of the other events, or some other countries, many of the other events that have happened this year have also affected how businesses have been either growing, it has stunted businesses. There is what is called there's a global recession. There's no doubt about that. However, the thing with change is that if we even look outside of the pandemic, things have been changing. Things have been changing. I think sometimes we then say to ourselves, are we conscious of what's changing? Are we paying attention to what's changing? How are we shifting, or how are we moving our business model in a way that responds to that change and gives it and makes it still relevant irrespective of the changes that are happening? It's not about asking, how can I manage change when it happens? It's also about how do I prepare for it when it does happen? So there's one thing to manage it because it's happening right now. There's another thing to prepare for it because it can change the trajectory of your business. So let's talk a little bit about the growth blueprint. What is this, and how can it help you if you're building and if you're growing a business? So let me use an analogy here. It's like a seed. A business really is like a seed. You take that seed and you go and plant it, in soil, in the ground. If we're going to use if you're a Christian, or if you have ever studied the Bible, you know about the parable of the sower, where as he walked, some of the seeds that he had fell on different ground. So there's the seed that fell on rock that didn't germinate. There is seed that fell and got eaten by birds. There is seed that just fell and it didn't fall on anywhere that could help it thrive. But there were seeds that fell on good soil, and those seeds they actually thrived. Those seeds turned to they grew to become something really phenomenal. That's exactly how businesses are. If you plant your seed, your idea, which is the seed, into the right ground, into the right place where it's supposed to be, definitely it will germinate and it will grow. Now, is your business, I'm going to ask you a few questions. Is your business in the right environment? Now, let's pause there. Before you say no, or before you say yes, think about the perspective in which you're answering this question. When you say the right environment, is it because the policies around you are helping you thrive? Not necessarily. But it's about, are you actually paying attention to what's happening rather than just looking at things from one straight line? Is it possible to look at it from 5 and say, oh, there's an opportunity here, there's an opportunity here, there's an opportunity here? So is your business in the right environment? Are you looking at things as you're supposed to? Do you have the right lens on? You can be looking at things with colored glasses, and you say, "Oh no, this color is red." And then when you take the glasses off, you find out that actually the color was never red. So, is your business in the right environment? The reason why you want to ask this question is because if you're not looking at the right perspectives for your business, the tendency to lose out on opportunities that are sitting right in front of you is very high. And you don't want to lose out on the opportunities only because there is a way you know how to do things. It's just look at it as being in your comfort zone, where you say, this is how we've always done this thing, this is how this business works. But then I'm not able to look outside of that because I'm just working with how the business already works. This provides an opportunity for you to say, what environment are we in? Because the environment that you were in last year is different from the environment that you're playing in right now. The environment that you were in 2 years ago is different from last year's environment, and it's definitely different from this year's environment. So you want to look at that. The environment is very important for you to pay attention to, because if you don't pay attention to your environment, the tendency for you not to see what is staring you right in the face is very, 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 very high. And you don't want to leave money on the table, because when you don't take advantage of those opportunities, you lose money. You lose money by not taking advantage of that, of what's right in front of you. Now, the second thing I want to ask you, aside from what type of environment your business is operating in, is who are you selling to? I don't know if you've ever heard this before, but I can tell you, it's not just the environment that is changing, the people that you're selling to are changing as well. They're evolving. What is happening around the world, what is happening in their current environment is also affecting the way that they buy things. It's also affecting the way that they think about what they need. You can imagine someone say, "Oh, I don't need this," and then they were locked down for months, and then suddenly people started renovating their homes. I don't know if is there anyone who was renovating during this time? Is there anyone who started to invest in food and say, "Oh, I want to have a healthier lifestyle, so I'm going to be more deliberate about the type of food I'm eating"? So what that means is that as people are evolving, what they need also evolves. So that's why you find that sometimes that what you think people needed in January is not what they actually need in March. First of all, in a typical calendar year, there are seasons. And during those seasons, sales can fluctuate depending on what people actually need at that particular time. But then the season I'm talking about is the season where people have evolved in terms of what they actually need. So it's important that you're not only paying attention to the environment that your business is operating in, but you're also paying attention to what is changing with the people whom you are selling your products to. I'm particularly speaking to those who are how do I put it now? So you were currently making sales, or you were making sales before something happened, and then when that something happened, your sales began to have a different turn. It started going up, down. At some point, you weren't sure. You took a step back to try to see, okay, what is happening here? What do I need to change? So if you're not paying attention to not just your environment, but also the people that you're selling to, the tendency to lose out on opportunities is high. Now, I've been hammering on losing out on opportunities because opportunities is actually what helps you grow. Opportunities is that thing, that good soil that I had talked about in the beginning, where I say, if you plant your seed in good soil, it grows. So the opportunities are it's the good soil. If you don't put that idea, that thing that you have into the good soil, the tendency for you not to have it grow or come out of the ground, is high. So we've talked about the environment that your business is playing in. We talked about how the people that you're selling to are evolving, and if you're paying attention to that. Now, the third thing I'm going to be sharing with you is about the products and services that you have. Is it right? Now, I don't know what's going on in your head. You're probably thinking, is it right? I've been selling this for 5 years. Everybody needs food now. How can you say, is it right? is it right for the people that you say you're selling that product to? So imagine that you say, okay, I sell fruits. I sell fruits and vegetables in large quantities. Families buy from me. I provide what they require on a weekly basis. So every week I take a stock of we take a stock of what families need, and then we provide that to them. What happens is that if you're not paying attention to the environment and how those people are changing, you will not understand if the products that you're selling actually are still relevant right now. You just keep selling them the way that you've always sold them. And again, you lose out on opportunities when you don't say, oh, I think my customers now need this. I think I should add this. Now, you might ask a question. How do I know what people need now? How do I know when customers are evolving? How do I know what is relevant to them at this particular time? It's about constantly speaking to them. It's about constantly asking them. It's about constantly engaging with them. So you imagine, for instance, that you're selling what I just used now. You sell in order to feed to drive a healthier lifestyle for people, for families. You have quantities of maybe fruits that you sell, or you have juices that you produce, and then you have all of this, and you have them in cartons, and then you deliver them, and then somewhere down the line, you notice there's something happening with the sales, and you're like, okay, what's changing? I'm not sure. At some time you say, oh, okay, it's because of this. And you know the thing with business is that when you notice the changes in your sale, the tendency for you to look outside of yourself is very high. To say, oh, yeah, it was because the market was shut down. That's the reason. Oh, it was because something else happened. That's the reason why we didn't make as much sales as we had initially planned to do. However, it doesn't always happen like that. It can be that because the customer's needs have changed, you haven't paid attention enough to know that you need to repackage your product and put it back in the market. It means that you need to say, okay, I will no longer do weekly sales with these families. I'm going to find ways of providing it where they are. Okay, I'm going to do this and send it to them in their office. I'm going to do this and send it to them in their homes. Oh, I realize that the children are back in school, so I'm going to package this, and I'm going to sell it I'm going to package what is available for children and say, okay, this is what you need. This is like a weekly like a weekly plan for the kids. Here you go. Or you know what I'm going to do also? I'm going to add a meal plan to it. I'm going to say, rather than just buy these fruits, this is how you can use it so that it works for you. So you can, for a healthier nutrition for your children, you mix watermelon with, oh, please don't take my word for it. I'm not even a nutritionist. I'm just giving examples here. You mix watermelons and pineapples, you put them together, you can do it as smoothies, you can, you add those things that you know that the customers actually need at this very moment. But you can never know that if you're not paying attention to your environment and if you're not paying attention to the people that you are selling to. So we've talked about three things, which I'm just going to run through. We talked about one, the business environment. What is changing within where you are? What is changing in the industry that you play? What has happened that has affected your industry? And what exactly, what exactly in terms of those changes, what has happened that has now affected your business or your environment or your industry or your sector or your particular firm? That's the first thing. The second thing is, the customers that we're selling to. What exactly has changed with them? How have they evolved? What are they interested in now? What were they interested in 6 months ago? What can we do? That's the third thing. What can we do so that the products and the services that we have actually cater to the needs and the changes that have happened in the marketplace so that we're actually paying attention to these people? Because if you're not providing what they need, if you just carry on business as usual, people will tire out. And that's the truth. I can tell you, even something as basic as detergent, something as basic as salt, people will tire out if it's just, oh, I need salt. So you find people who still walk into a store and say, oh, pink salt. You see that all the time because people want to try something new. You can imagine someone comes out with sea salt, pink sea salt, and says, locally produced pink sea salt. I don't know how possible that is. And again, I'm not a nutritionist or biochemist, but I'm just using examples. Imagine someone says, "Oh, we're going to locally produce pink sea salts, and as a result of that, we're going to sell it as a healthier version of the table salt. We're going to say, look, if you use this, you need just one or two crystals, and it's sweet, and it's directly from the sea. Yeah, the other one has A, B, C, D. This one doesn't have A, B, C, D, and this one also has additional nutrients of A, B, C, D. What you find is that people who did not even think they needed it are like, oh no, I'm actually living a healthier lifestyle. I need something different. Even at a time where we all know that spending power has reduced, it doesn't change choices. Spending power has reduced. You will be amazed at some of the things that people actually spend money on. So why not what you offer, and what you offer which is actually valuable to the market? People can spend money on things that you might say, what is this for? Why wouldn't they spend money with what you're offering, which is actually important and which can add value to their lives? It's about how you are monitoring your environment. It's about how you're paying attention to how the people that you're serving are changing. It's about how you're checking what are the products and the services that you're offering, and how you're offering those products and services actually cater to the needs of these people that we are selling to. Okay, and then what I'm then going to share with you is about how you are taking this product and service to the market. And that's where this whole thing about buying tribes come in. Because let's look at it, tribes buying, definitely it's people who are buying something. That's what it is. Now, the thing with buying tribes is this. Sometimes I think that a lot of us as founders and leaders are typically saying, look, this is what we have. Let's just take it to the market. Let people just buy. We just want to take it there. Let people see. But if you find a way of bringing people together because they share common interests, it changes the game. If you say to yourself, I'm going to bring people together. Yes, we supply. Let me see. If you're live with me, you want me to use your business as an example in all the things I'm talking about, please just write in the comments so that I'm able to see your comments, and I'm able to use your business as an example of some of the things that I'm sharing here. So let me use someone who offers. Let me use an example. So I walk into a store and I find I find tomato paste. Fantastic. Now I am at this point I'm just buying as a retailer, as somebody who's I'm the end user of it. But there's a process that has gone through before me as an end user. It means that a company bought it, other companies bought like 10, 20, 100 cartons of it, and then they stock it in the supermarkets, and then I walk in there. But I've never bought this particular brand before, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, what is this about? Now imagine that I open or I take a look at that particular item, and it says, oh, are you a mom who is interested in nutritious meals? Oh, why don't you join us on this Telegram group? We give away healthy meal recipes every week. You think I wouldn't join? Of course I will. Why? Because it's an area of interest for me. It means that other people who also have that kind of interest also can come there. So what it means is that we're now all in a pool where this company can consistently give us something that we find valuable, and they continue to push their products right in front of us. They continue to put their products right in front of us and say, remember, for you to be able to do this recipe, this one product is what you need, and we are the ones who sell it. So when you go to this supermarket, ensure that you're buying that. Buying tribes is really about pulling people who consistently will buy because there's an area of interest about something that you're offering to them, something that they need, that where you brought them together in some way. And technology provides a perfect opportunity for you to be able to pull people together in one place because they have a common interest. I'm wrapping up, but if you have any of those questions that you've had as I've been talking, and the questions you already had before you came on, this is a great time to put it up. Unfortunately, I'm not sure I can see the comments on on Facebook and YouTube, but I can see the comments definitely on Instagram. So just write it. I'm going to find a way. Maybe I have to navigate my way through to see the comments on YouTube and Facebook. So please put your comments, your questions there. And definitely, this is something that I will answer just before our time is up during this masterclass. So just as a quick, catch up of the things that we talked about, for you to be able to drive growth in your business, you need to, one, consider what is changing in your environment, what is happening within the business environment in which you operate in. Number two, for you to ask yourself, what is changing with the people whom you're already selling to? These people who have constantly bought from you, they're evolving. What is changing with them? And how can you keep up with those changes? Which brings us to number three, the products that you have, the services that you already offer. How can you repurpose, repackage, redeliver this service, this product to the people who are also changing as well? The fourth thing that I mentioned here is about the way that you are taking that product or service to the market. So there's one thing in repackaging the product. There's another thing to be able to talk about the product in a way that is of interest to the people that you are selling to. And the fifth and final thing is about ensuring that you are actively driving a buying tribe. You're actively saying to yourself, I want to bring people with common interests together so that I create a tribe of people who are interested in what it is that I offer, what it is that our business offers, the solution that we can provide for you, and we're able to leverage that goodwill where we're sharing, where we're giving out value, where we're engaging consistently with these people, and we're saying, look, for you to be able to do A, B, C, D, this product that you need. I'm just looking through Facebook. Just give me a moment. I see. Okay, Remy. Thank you, Remy, for joining. Remy says, no question. Very clear class. Thank you so much. I think I missed a question above. Unfortunately, I'm not able to see that now. So just if you had asked the question before, I think I might have missed it. Just put it in the comments so that I can answer that question. I'm checking the others as well, just to make sure that I haven't missed anything. Okay, I see someone again who says, okay, this was very good. Okay, thank you so much. All right, so while I'm looking to get the questions that are being put up at the different platforms, I know some of my team members are here. Please, if you find those questions, could you drop it on Instagram? I think Instagram is the place that I can really see all the questions. So please drop the questions on Instagram. So I had talked about these 5 things that you need to do in order to be able to grow your business. Because at the end of the day, you want to be able to say, this is what I've been able to achieve this month. Monthly goals as opposed to only doing annual goals. It's easy to say, I want to do 20 million this year as a business, or we want to be able to drive 100 million. We want to be able to do 1 billion. It's easy to do that. But particularly in a year that has been very interesting, you want to check how it's happening on a monthly basis. I think that this year has shown why the monthly calculated and tracking monthly the growth from a monthly perspective is even more important, because the things that happened 2 months ago are definitely going to be different from what is happening now, that has affected many other things because of how the year has panned out. I'm still checking if there's anything. Please don't forget to drop the questions here on Instagram. So you must prioritize the 5 things that I talked about from an environment standpoint, checking consistently what is changing in your marketplace and how you can provide how you can stay on track with those changes and ensure that you are catering to that. Secondly, how the people that you're talking to, the people that you've always sold to, how they are changing as well as a result of the changes that are happening and have happened particularly in this year. Checking how they're evolving and ensuring that you're packaging, that you're responding to how they're evolving from your product standpoint. The third thing that I shared with you is about ensuring that the products and services that you have are packaged appropriately to be able to respond to those changes that are happening with the people who are buying. Because if the people who are buying, if we're not able to cater to them at where they are, it's going to be difficult, for us to be able to say, okay, this is how we need to tweak it. Now, the fourth thing I shared is about ensuring that the way that you're taking that repackaged product to the market is equally as important as all the other things I've said. So it's one thing to say, okay, this is what we're offering. In case you didn't know, we're offering this. But at the same time, you're saying to yourself, you're ensuring that you're consistently talking about how that solution, the offer that you have, how it changes or how it meets the needs of the people that you're selling to. And then the fourth thing I mentioned to you is about actively building buying tribes that you can consistently pull from. So there's a question here. Remy says, what do you think Alibaba did this year to break another record during a global pandemic? They just leveraged on what's available. People were apart for such a long time. People did not see themselves, even right now. I'm still saying to myself, there's so many people I miss that I haven't seen. Coincidentally, the person who's asking this question is someone I miss as well, who I haven't been able to see for months. Now, what happens? They leverage on the gap. There is a gap. People missed each other. People still miss each other. But this was a perfect opportunity for them to be able to. They can say something. I may not be able to see you as frequently as I would like, but I'm able to send you a gift. So there were more people who were online. One, there were more people who they leveraged on the emotions of people who had missed each other, and then definitely they leveraged on the fact that people could send those gifts, without being the one. So there's the one where you buy the gift, it comes to you, and then you take it to them. But this time around, they're saying, okay, let's just send the gifts there. So people were willing to buy more things. More people were online, even for our local markets. The number of people who got online as a result of the fact that we were all locked down for a long time is very high. It's not just that. People's lifestyle changed. So if my lifestyle changed as a result of the fact that I'm locked down, I need someone to say, this is your new lifestyle, and that's why I'm an answer to that lifestyle that you have. If someone says to me, this is your new lifestyle, and I'm looking at it, it actually is my new lifestyle, I'm definitely going to buy into that. So they leveraged on people's new lifestyle. They also leveraged on the fact that more people were online, and then they leveraged on the emotions that people had because they had missed one another for such a long time. Thank you so much for that question, and I hope that I hope that the answer helped. I'm just quickly going on YouTube now just to check the question that we have. But if that is, unfortunately, I'm still blind here. So if that's the case, and I'm still checking no other questions, it will be great to call this to try to wrap up on the things that I talked about. But just before we do that, I want to say to you that I have a freebie for you. If you registered for this masterclass, you have a workbook available for you for absolutely free. It's a workbook that is called "Where is the Money?" Where can we find this money? The money is out there; it's everywhere. But where can we find it? We want to touch it. We want to be able to hold it. So I created a workbook where you can actually go. You can actually use that workbook to be able to map out where the money is so that you can go get that money. Just take a look at it. It's a treasure map for you. So if you want that treasure map, where is the money? You're going to get it if you registered for this masterclass. It will be sent directly to your inbox. If you didn't, this would be a great time to register for the masterclass. It's actually founders hq.co/Thrive Masterclass, and we will send you your treasure map. Where is the money, so that you can find the money in your industry. And also, if you haven't joined the community that we have for business founders, which is Founders HQ, please also join that community. It's a community. It's an amazing community is what I can say. And the things that we share consistently are because we're trying to ensure that founders stay on top of it. And I am a founder myself, and I understand exactly where the shoe pinches. I know the pains. I know the things that thrill us the most. We're consistently creating. We are constant creators, but we at the same time we want to see the results from the things that we create. So you get your treasure map. Where is the money in your inbox if you registered? If you haven't registered, please just go to foundershq.co/Thrive Masterclass to get your free workbook. So I'll see you in the HQ. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a great time. I totally enjoyed my time with you today, and I will see you soon. All right then. Bye-bye. Okay. Let's do this for Instagram first. Okay, so Instagram has ended. And now let's do this for YouTube. I'll see you guys. Bye.